Moduls Rīga un Vēlve piedāvā.
People always ask, how do you do that? How do you direct in a language you do not understand? And so what's always interesting for me, wherever it is, whether that's Asia or whether that's Europe, or that the emotions underneath the words are always the same. So in that sort of sense, I think, theatre is really good because it can, well, if it is successful, you can see on the stage what the emotions are underneath the words which are being said, and I think that probably slightly better than on film, because it is because in film the real work starts in the editing room. That's the so they can find those emotions more precisely. But in theatre, I think what is interesting is that there is a common emotional language of actors which an audience can follow. Yeah.
But is the script important for you, with the text?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I like what. But different plays ask different things from a director. So so depending on what the challenges the script has to offer, what makes me excited by that. Gone with the Wind, something totally different than a Pillowman, or it asks totally different things from me as a director. So that's.
Do you like modern playwriting?
Yeah, totally. yeah. Not everything, but there's. Somebody like Martin Madonna, I like very much. I like somebody like Patrick Marber is great. It's when the language is so precise. Yes, I like. Again, depending on who it is. It's not necessarily like every modern playwright, but there are definitely modern playwrights I like very much.
And why and how did you choose Gone by the Wind?
Just Gone by the Wind because I was funny. I did a list of things I wanted, I wouldn't mind doing. And Gone with the Wind is a story my middle sister has read about 13 times, and I like doing a play for somebody or for something, because I find that easier rather than if I do it for the advancement of my career or whatever. Then I don't feel good doing it. But if I know that I do it for somebody, I like it. But I put it on this list, and then Dailes Theatre came back and sort of said, "Oh, we would like you to do that one," and So I hadn't really quite, I hadn't really thought it through in that much detail. But I liked the story very much. I really do like the story very much.
What is it about?
What is it about? For me, it's about. I think it's. I've been talking about it quite a lot of late, and to what extent, what is drama about? What is, and I started talking about. I think most dramas are prodigal son stories, in the sense that or most novels are prodigal son stories. We don't really write stories about. The Garden of Eden, where everything is fine. We write about when everything is not fine. We write about the moment where we have left happy scenario, and when we come back to a happy scenario and we write about the journey to and from that place, but we don't write about that place itself. So and so this is also, I think, another, you know, prodigal son, prodigal daughter type scenario, where sometimes people return and they've learned something, and sometimes they return and they haven't learned anything. And so I like stories like that. What I like about The Gone with the Wind is that what I like more about it, that I think most then, is that a lot of people sort of say, "Oh, it's a failed love story." It's people go like, "Oh, Scarlett O'Hara is blind," but and if only she could see, then this would be fine. But I think it's I think even, you know, even the fact that so many people like that and so many people respond to that. For myself, maybe in spiritual terms, I think it goes. The story starts from the point of view, or from the point where somebody thinks that if they only have Ashley, they will be happy. If only Red Butler will have Scarlett O'Hara, he will be happy. If everybody believes that if they have something, if they have a past life, if they have the life as it was, they will be happy. And that sentence of "I'll deal with it tomorrow" is what I like a lot, in the sort of sense that that a lot of us people, and a lot of myself included, always sort of look for the next thing that will make us happy, rather than from being in a moment. And there's nothing better phrased than "I'll deal with it tomorrow." It's one of the most famous lines, you know, I guess in literature, you know, apart from "to be or not to be," or and so many people respond to that, but true happiness lies in the here and now.
Do you believe we can live actually happy life?
In the here and now? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I believe in God. I believe that, yeah, I have ultimate faith, yeah.
Have you been happy?
Every single time when I don't try to pursue it, I always find out afterwards.
Do you like technological progress in your life, daily life?
Yeah, totally.
Well, gadgets, the internet.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah, my iPhone. Yes, I do, but I'm not good at it. I'm not. It's not something. But it is very much part of my my life, and particularly of my working life, and also with regards to, you know, editing in scripts or whatever. Without a computer, it would all be far more complicated. I would have to retype everything every day. So yes, it's very much part of my, you know, I Facebook, I do all these kind of things.
And on stage?
Yeah, I like it because it is for the same reason. Is because it's there in my everyday life. It's part of my and, you know, when coming back to your first question, with regards to the communication, I like to communicate with things I communicate with in my everyday life, and I like to communicate about things which I deal with in my daily life.
Is there a difference from Shakespeare's theatre now?
I'm sure, because I think for exactly that reason. I think every single time when there is a large community of your communication breakthrough, every single time when more people can communicate with one another, I think there is a big breakthrough. So in the time of Shakespeare, a place where a play where large groups of people could come together and hear the same story at the same time. We have totally different media for that nowadays. You know, might actually be another phone of mine. I think I have a Latvian number. Is it in that big coat over there? Typical. Good. I think every single time that there is a massive at the moment cavemen started to draw inside the cave. At the moment the Bible got translated into the language of the common man. At the moment there was the printing press. I think something changes. At the moment we have the internet and loads of people can communicate with one another. Massive changes happen, and so massive ways in which people communicate with one another change. So that obviously has changed since Shakespeare. I mean, that's the only way in which to communicate. You know, was it for those mass congregations were either in church or through the theatre, and we have totally different means nowadays. I don't think that theatre is the most effective way to pass on a political message. But I think that there was a time where a theatre could be far more effectual with that kind of thing. I think theatre has a different function nowadays. Nowadays, I believe in attraction rather than promotion, and by that I mean if I try to live a better life myself, which is already hard enough, rather than trying to tell other people how I think they should be living theirs. And that's and I don't really know whether I still use political weapons as such. I think if people like what I've got to say, then I think that's nice. But I like phrases like you can, and this is what I really believe. I think you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I believe that that's the same as with any political message. If people are willing to hear something new, they will come. If people are not willing to hear, I can say whatever I like. People won't hear what I've got to say anyway. I totally recognize Scarlett O'Hara, and I totally recognize, her selfishness and her, self-obsession. And but at the end of the day, she misses out on something very beautiful, love, and I think that when we when we keep self-serving, at the end we miss out. So if we are serving, we gain love, and I like that about the theatre. The theatre serves people. And I think if we have done the play a service, then we serve the people who come and watch it too, because they see 26 people trying very hard to together to reach a communal goal, and that must always be, I think is always quite beautiful to sort of see people trying to strive for the same thing.